All right, everyone, and welcome back to another A&R challenge brought to you by Direct to Exec. My name is Adonis. I'm going to be your host for today's event. And today, as usual for this event, we are joined by three very special guest A&Rs, all from separate record labels. So let me go ahead, let me introduce them one at a time for our event today. First up on the A&R lineup, he's an A&R director over at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, welcome back to another A&R challenge online. How you doing, Knowledge?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you, Knowledge. Thank you so much for joining us for today's online event. Now, we always have a question we ask our judges and our A&Rs that join us for these events. My question for you today, Knowledge, what is the proper way for an independent artist to roll out a newly completed project?
Man, you know what? There's really no, I wouldn't say there's a proper way. It all depends on the personality of the artist, the style of music the artist makes, the type of audience the artist has, things like that. Things I would say that kind of apply to everybody would be, you definitely want to be creative with it. You want to make sure that it is targeted at your target audience, the people that you really, your core audience of fans. You want to make sure that it's not, you want to make sure you follow through also, you know what I mean? So a lot of times people promote the project leading up to it, and then once it drops, they don't really promote it as much throughout that. So you want to, you want to keep promoting, keep promoting, keep promoting, keep promoting. A lot of times, some of the songs that we hear that become hit songs or things like that, or some of the artists that you hear that came out of nowhere, a lot of times that project or that song has been out for a year or 8 months, you know what I mean? And it was a slow grow and it took a while, but people started slowly catching on and slowly started to spread. So I would just say like constant promotion, and then just making sure, like I said, you're doing something creative so that it captures people's attention. Otherwise, there's so much stuff out there, it's going to be hard for it to stick out. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely well said. Knowledge, it's such a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much for joining us for today's online event. Up next on the A&R panel, he's a director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, welcome back to another A&R challenge brought to you by Direct to Exec. How you doing, Polo?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. My question for you today, what are some good networking events that you as an A&R have been to and you could recommend to the newer artists that are tuning into today's event?
I mean, right now, since the COVID, obviously everything kind of shut down. But, New York City has a couple that used to run couple. There's always a lot of showcases that's going on as well that I will pop up to. I mean, but you'll catch me in the hole in the wall. I mean, I'm a little different. I like to be in the smallest places and get to know anybody, that's making music. So it's a little different. But events, I mean, once everything comes back on, I know the Village used to do the Village Voice had open mic. I forgot what day, but the Village did a couple things. What else, man?
So you're attending like those open mic events, those areas where they are showcasing like kind of newer talent then, right?
Correct. There's those showcases, and then there's also label showcases. Labels will open up, will do a showcase and open up to unsigned talent, and then Hot 97 does a lot with the Who's Next. So they would do a lot of things at SOBs. SOBs had a lot of events where it'll be a new artist coming from out of town performing, but you kind of want to just be everywhere because you want to network. Network is the most important thing. Spreading your name, you know what I mean? Showing people that you're willing to work. I tell artists all the time, you're not gonna grow just being in the studio. You know what I mean? Studio is a part of it, but the other part is the hustle, the grind. How you getting your music across? How do you collaborate with other artists? How do you work with other artists? And how do you meet these guys? And it's by going to events, and those guys have events, and there's a lot of smoking events now too, like where people, you know what I mean, like tastemakers go to. Even bloggers have events. It's always about keeping your ear to the streets and just knowing what's going on, but popping up and networking because you have to kind of you're your own business card, so you have to kind of go out there and tell them, hey, yo, I'm such and such. if you got any beats I want to work and collab. I feel like artists are, you know, they kind of stick to themselves. They're very antisocial, which kind of hurts you. You know what I mean? Like the artists that go further are those guys that are not scared to go up to someone and just they say, hey, let's work. You know what I mean? Because people want to work. They just don't know who's willing to work. There's a room full of artists, a room full of producers, a room full of writers. If you're not really talking and seeing what's going on, you're not going to get into the circles that you kind of need to get into. You know what I mean? So events have slowed down since the COVID, but, you know, there's always events. I mean, people, you know, Instagram is always promoting events. I know a lot of bloggers. I know a lot of managers that just have events. I even throw something called Polo's Beat Camp, where I invite, you know, all unsigned producers and give them an opportunity to come play some beats and maybe get an actual, you know, industry placement. And I did that. I have actually got 5 placements out of those type of events. So it's just there's a lot of events. People, even A&Rs have events. You just gotta stay in tune to what's going on. You know what I mean? It's not gonna pop up on your automatically pop up on your phone as a notification. But if you search and if you actually on the grind, you're gonna know what's going on. And I think you should make your way to those events. You know what I'm saying? Once everything open up again.
Definitely well said, Polo. It's such a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much for joining us for today's online event. And last but certainly not least, he's the Vice President of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records. SHAWN Barron, welcome back to another A&R Challenge brought to you by Direct to Exec. How you doing, Sean?
I'm good. How about you?
Awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you, Sean. Thank you for joining us today. My question for you, with so much competition in the industry right now, what is really standing out to the A&Rs like yourself?
Yeah, there's really not a lot of competition because everybody is sounding the same. So if you're doing something different and, you know, you making your mark that way, then you're going to stand out. But if you're doing what everybody else is doing, then you're not going to stand out.
Awesome. Definitely well said. SHAWN Barron, it's such a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much for joining us for today's online event. Thank you to all 3 of our A&Rs for joining us for the A&R Challenge today. Now, today, we do have a great lineup of artists that each submitted a song which will be reviewed live by all 3 of the A&Rs, and the A&Rs are scoring them live as well. And at the very end, I'm going to choose one winner. The winner will receive a prize, a studio session with all 3 of the A&Rs. Definitely a plus, something you want to get if you're a newer artist as well, to meet with all 3 of these A&Rs that are joining us for today. So let's kick this thing off with the first artist on the lineup. We have Draystone. Now, Draystone, we do have you in the chat here. Let me go ahead and bring you on into the main room with me and the other 3 of the A&Rs. All right, so we have Draystone. Let me bring you on in here. And you did submit your song. It's called Like Me. All right, so we have Draystone now. Draystone, can you hear us? All right, and we'll come back to Draystone. We're going to go ahead and play his song. Let me load up his song. It's called Like Me. Let me load this up, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, Will,
Listen.
shit is fucking cold.
If you creep, bet I creep back. Shorty in the whip, she telling me push the seat back. Feeling kinda tense, I had to relapse. I don't mess on Henny, but tonight I had to relapse. Fear guys when I'm stepping in. Bricks in a duffel with faces of blue presidents. When you want, you know you gotta change your residence. From the people who hate it are never relevant. Yeah, and that's word to Nipsey Hussle. Taught me how to grind and how to get it off the struggle. I'm young, but I'm still putting pieces to the puzzle. I'm a beast before and after if I'm taking off the muzzle. Yo, been a real nigga since a little nigga. Hang with real killers who always up in the field, nigga. I was the weapon that's concealed, nigga. Now I'm the weapon that I will, nigga. Vans on, but they look like sneakers. 212s hit me hard, banging through the speakers. Used to have them girls braiding my hair up in them bleachers. Now fresh fade, sipping click by the little. Nobody that can put it down like me. Nigga that can dribble drown like me. And ain't nobody that can sound profound like me. Ain't nobody tryna run in town like me. Ain't nobody learning from their wrongs like me. Cause nobody moving strong like me. I know you can't get her out them thongs like me. Cause ain't nobody switching up they song like me. Yeah, huh? Never missing a step, I know it's game time. Half court shooting, my niggas be on they game time. Freak up in the sheets, now I gotta put in pain time. All up in the wop, holding a friend up at the same time. I watch it burn like a loose leaf. We getting this cheddar fettuccine drizzled in blue cheese. No Lamborghini with no roof, please. Thinking you the man with a proof beat. Where you at? Glorifying all the fake shit, no handouts. Looking like I really gotta take shit. Watch for them people who be on they heavy snake shit. How the emotions, you can tell they had a face. Oh no. It's a celebration when I touch down. Smith & Wesson with no regretting when I'm in the Bucktown. Had to focus up, shit was crazy in the shutdown. Aiming for the top, you niggas hungry for a bust down. Yo, from the east to the west coast. And every time I got bitches breaking a bedpost. She dripping wetter than candy, give her a fresh coat. I'm the man in my show with no man. Nobody that can put it down like me. Nigga that can drip a drown like me. And ain't nobody that can sound profound like me. Ain't nobody tryna run the town like me. Ain't nobody learning from their wrongs like me. Cause nobody moving strong like me. I know you can't get her out them thongs like me. Cause ain't nobody switching up they song like me. Yeah. Like me. You niggas ain't like me. You niggas ain't like me. You niggas ain't like me. Yeah. You niggas ain't like me. You niggas wanna be me. You niggas nothing like me. You niggas not like me. Yeah. I like this shit. I like this shit. I'm not even gonna hold you. I didn't think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first artist on the lineup today. That was Draystone with his song. Let's go right over to the three A&Rs. Let's get their thoughts on this. We'll start things off. He's an A&R director at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, let's start off with you. What were your thoughts of Draystone and his song that he submitted?
I thought he did a really good job. I liked the song. I thought it was a dope vibe. It had like a West Coast feel to it, I want to say. Yeah, it just felt good. It felt really well put together. The mixes sound good to me for the most part. I mean, it sounded really good. I would have liked to see a video with that. I think he definitely needs to shoot that. And then to touch on what we were talking about earlier, like I feel like that song's a little too good to only have 55 views. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it makes me feel like that's also part of it. Like Polo said, it's a small part. The studio's a small part, right? But you also have to promote the music. Like you can make the music, but you have to let people know that it's out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only advice I would give to him. But yeah, I think he did a really good
Knowledge,
job.
real quick, what would you say is the best way for an artist? Let's say they have a song like that. It's good. They made it and they uploaded it to, let's say, YouTube. What is the best way to promote that? What's the next step?
Well, yeah, this is where the hustle part comes in. This is where, well, first and foremost, you have to let your friends know, right? Your friends have to know. You have to be on them. They have to be able to, they have to be reposting it and sharing it and stuff like that. Those have to be part of your biggest fan club in the beginning. You know what I mean? Friends and family. And then you got the network. That's where the networking comes in. You know what I mean? That's where the networking comes in, whether it's in person, not so much these days, depending on where you live, but that's why we have social media, right? So you're getting on social media, you're talking to other people, you're getting into, you're finding out the DJs in your city, you're finding out, just the different people who potentially could help your song go further, right? You're trying to get people to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just sending it to them. Yo, I'm making, whatever it may be, creatively tapping into people who you feel like would listen to your music. You know what I'm saying? Producers, whatever. But it's a continuing process, but you have to constantly be on people, making people aware that you're doing this. Otherwise, you know what I mean?
Definitely well said. Thank you for that knowledge. With that, we'll go over to our next A&R on the lineup. He's a director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, what were your thoughts of Draystone and his song that he submitted?
Good record, good discovery record. I like the beat, like Knowledge said. I think Knowledge made a lot of great points. Something with this, a video probably would have helped to push a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like he said, he only has 55 views. Obviously nowadays it's all about content. So you have to have content to follow up, the music. So I think he did a good job music-wise. Obviously, as an A&R, I would still kind of want to tweak the hook a little bit. But overall, I think he did a good job. It's just now how do you push this music? You know, how do you get it, you know, to other people's hands and ears? So now it's, you know, that's the only thing is about marketing and figuring out how to push that, you know, that good song. But overall, I think he has a good, you know, he has a good sound. I'm not mad at that at all.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Polo. And with that, we'll go over to our last A&R in the lineup. He's the VP of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records, SHAWN Barron. What do you think of Dre Stone and his song?
I feel like both of the guys hit it on the head. I don't really have anything else to add. It was a good song. Yeah, marketing and promotion is like the next thing up for him. So just keep it going.
Awesome. Thank you for that, SHAWN Barron. Well, you heard it from all three of the A&Rs. Got yourself some good advice there, Dre Stone. Stay tuned to the end of today's event. Find out if you're today's winner for the A&R Challenge. And next up on the lineup, we have King Woe. King Woe, you did submit your song right here. It's called Jump On It. Let me go ahead and load this up, and we'll be right back.
Jump on it. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. Jump on it. That little bitch gon' ride me like you seen it. I'm on it, exotic, been corners. Little bitch gon' ride me in the morning. Fair warning, this plane, this border. I'm getting persona. You niggas don't want it. You niggas don't want it. She ride it, designer, Versace, skeet all on it. You got it, baby. You know you like it. Know that my pistol poppin'. 40s all in my locker. Baby, I keep it cotton. Baby, I keep it cotton. You know that my pistol poppin'. Panties always be trappin'. Every time that I'm walking, every time that I'm walking, everybody be watching. All the bitches be jogging. All these niggas be flashing. I'm drippin' in this designer. Yeah. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. Jump on it. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. Jump on it. What was happening, nigga? That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony.
I know you sick or tired. Hate when you crying. To hit my line, making love like it's Valentine. Might take my time and make you mine. You won't be a secret. Talk to you like a mine. Sneaking in the window in the college dorm. My Katrina make that pussy thunderstorm. We tryna fuck you through the mattress. Put your knee to your shoulder, gymnastics. She a good girl, real classy. A bad bitch, but nasty. Baddest in the world, if you ask me, she mine. Anytime you need me, hit my line.
That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. Jump on it. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. Jump on it. That little bitch gon' ride me like a pony. She wanna slide, she wanna ride, she wanna slide, she wanna ride, she wanna slide, she wanna ride.
All right, everyone, so that was King Woe with his song and his video that he submitted for us today. Let's go over to our judges. Let's see what they thought about it. We'll start things off. He's a director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, let's start off with you. What'd you think of King Woe and his video that he submitted?
It was cool. I'm not sure what parts I wasn't really feeling like that. I think it was, I'm trying to, this is like a discovery moment for me. When we, this is the first time we're watching these guys. So, when you give me a song that has a feature or something like that, it kind of takes away from, getting to know that artist. Not to say I was mad at the feature or anything, but it was more like, I wanted to hear more of him and to see how he would approach the second verse. His first verse was cool. A lot of open spaces between the hook and the verses, so it kind of didn't. It wasn't recitable. Like I don't remember really what he was talking about, and that kind of that hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where you want to come with your best record sometimes, and be greedy and do have both verses if you could, because again you want to it's still a discovery moment for you. That the song been out since October, and he only has 3,000 views. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's a guy who has to go out there and push and network more. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a feature on it, you would think that person would push and try to push that record too hard as well. You know what I mean? So it was cool. It didn't really stick out to me. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Thank you for that, Polo. With that, we'll go over to our next A&R on the lineup. He's the vice president of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records, SHAWN BARRON. What were your thoughts of King Woe and his song that he submitted?
Yeah, I thought it was a solid song. I thought it had potential, but just certain parts, I feel like I understand what Polo was saying. Like with his voice in the mix, like it was just off. His notes was off in some places, so it like threw the whole song off. But he does have potential, like to write a good song. I just feel like that wasn't like his strongest show.
So thank you for that, SHAWN BARRON. And with that, let's go over to our last A&R in the lineup. He's an A&R director at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, what were your thoughts of King Woe and his video that he submitted?
I mean, for me, I wasn't really mad at the voice so much. I felt like the song was I thought the song was solid. I liked the video. I thought the video was good. For me, it was more or less the songwriting. For me, like I didn't feel like I liked his voice. I thought the melodies he used were cool, but it just wasn't like he wasn't saying much to me. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like he was really saying nothing that I would want to repeat or saying something that made me feel like, ooh, he's skating on this joint. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have that vibe to it. It felt like very generic stuff that he was saying. It was like, you know what I mean? It just felt lazy songwriting wise. So that's what it was for me. But I mean, other than that, I think everything else about the presentation of it was pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Knowledge. Well, you heard it from all three of the A&Rs. Got yourself some great feedback there. But stay tuned to the end of today's event, King Woe. Find out if you're today's winner for the A&R Challenge. And next up on the lineup, we have G-Host. G-Host, we do have your song that you submitted. I think it's pronounced Ghost, but the way you wrote it says G-Host. So I'm going to call you that for now. But your song is called Let's Start Over. Let me go ahead and load this up. We'll be right back.
Let's start over. It's nice to meet you. You're the woman of my dreams. I love you and all your features. You're running through my mind all day. I'm trying to keep up. You're a gift to this world. You're a goddess. You're a diva. Girl, I'ma do this the right way. I promise myself I make up for everything. Ask your grandpa for your hand in marriage again. Buy you RCB's on the fucking track. Let the world know you're mine. I miss you so much. You're the love of my life. I can't believe I let you go without a fight. I wish I could take back the night. I miss my family, I paid the price. I gotta get my baby back on right. If you don't take me back. I know you're not to blame. I should be ashamed. I'm the one who caused your love to fade away. The man in the mirror who I gotta face. I make so many mistakes that I cannot change. There's nothing more I can say. I'll do anything for you, baby. I give my life for you. I know that sounds crazy. I lost you, that drive me insane. I don't know what to do. My heart hurts every breath I take. I know I gotta give it to God, I gotta have faith. But when times get hard, I forget to pray. I used to say I ain't got time for that. Now I walk with God, talk with God, give it out to God, making my way back. This is my comeback, not giving up. I'm showing my sons that when times get tough, you fall down, but don't give up. Put yourself off and get back up. Don't let the snakes in the grass attack, they so venomous. It's a cold, cold world from down to dust. Find the light in the dark, it's only in God I trust. Put him first and the rest will follow. I remember when my wallet was hollow. I live my life in sorrow. Remember we ain't promised tomorrow. We living on time that is borrowed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ghost with his music video right there. Let's go over to our judges and our A&Rs. Let's see what they thought about it. Let's start things off. He's the Vice President of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records, Sean Barron. What did you think of Ghost and his song with his video that he submitted?
He's still like in his like figuring it out stage. It's like the very beginning for him. So I would just tell him to keep working, keep recording, and keep trying to get better. I would tell him to get with maybe a producer who could help him find the sound and a songwriter to help him with his lyrics.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Sean Barron. And with that, let's go over to our next A&R on the lineup. He's an A&R director at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, what were your thoughts of Ghost and his video that he submitted?
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback off what Sean was saying, I just felt like vocally it was, way too much auto-tune. He has to figure that part out, how to balance the auto-tune with his natural voice. And then once he figures that out, then the mix on the vocals has to be there as well. And then definitely just, in the beginning stages, just need to continue working on your songwriting, coming up with the idea of a song. Where's the song going? What's the song about? How does it flow together? And then the production value, you know what I'm saying? So still a lot of work to go for him.
All right, thank you for that knowledge. And with that, let's go over to our last A&R in the lineup. He's a director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, what'd you think of Ghost and his video that he submitted?
I mean, pretty much both judges, the other two judges kind of said everything. I mean, sounded new. I mean, sounded like it's still in the beginning stages. Obviously the mix definitely needs help. So working with a mix engineer or producer could help him. And having direction. Like, I feel like the song really wasn't having direction. He was just saying stuff, but it wasn't, what was he talking about? You know what I mean? So, it gave me that 808 Heartbreak Kanye vibe. That's the sound he was trying to go for, but still needs a lot of work. Just keep working and try to get around other guys that can help you grow your sound. You know what I'm saying? Put him, make sure that he's right in pocket with the production. So, just keep working, man.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Polo. Well, you heard it from all three of the A&Rs there, Ghost. Stay tuned to the end of today's event. Find out if you're today's winner for the A&R Challenge. And next up on the lineup, we have Amir Banks. Amir, we do have you in the chat room. Let me go ahead and bring you on into the main room with me and the other three of the A&Rs. All right, so we have Amir. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Where you from?
I'm from Jersey. I'm originally from Camden. Right now I stay in Magnolia. I graduated from Delson. That's the reason.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much for joining us for today's online A&R challenge. What is your social media so everyone could go ahead and go check you out?
My IG is Amir Banks of 856. So it's AMEERBANKS 856. Facebook is Amir Banks. You can find me on YouTube and everything else, Amir Banks.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about this video that you submitted for us today. It's called Banks Shuffle. What is this all about?
It's a line dance. It's an upbeat sort of song, but it's just about something you play when you at a barbecue or you going out. It's about a hookah. We're at a hookah, and then we just go home. That's it. Go to a hotel.
All right, dope. So let's go ahead. Let's take a listen. This is the Banks Shuffle with Amir Banks. Let me go ahead and load up his video. We'll be right back.
Pray on you like a leopard in the jungle. Once I fuck it up, I stay humble. Stock me each day, yes, you want more of me. Got you hooked on me. Pray on you like a leopard in the jungle. Once I fuck it up, I stay humble. Stock me each day, yes, you want more of me. Got you hooked on me. We do go with Patron. No later we gon' party. Me and my nigga two shawties. Let's get a room and get it started. We do go with Patron. No later we gon' party. Me and my nigga two shawties. Let's get a room and get it started. Foreplay was us talking at the bar. Look at me, understood it all. When they told us they was down to the car. When she said that they were down to the car. I make your legs start shaking. Put you fast asleep, no waking. I'll have those legs start quaking. Put you fast asleep, no waking. Now put your right hand up and go deep. Put your left hand up and go deep. Just a 1-2, just a 1-2, just a 1-2, just a 1-2. Put your left hand up and go deep. Put your right hand up and go deep. Then cross over left, then go beyond the right. Cross over right, then go beyond the left. Turn, put your right hand up and go deep. Put your left hand up and go deep. Just a 1-2 step, 1-2 step, just a 1-2 step, 1-2 step. Put your left hand up and go deep. Put your right hand up and go deep. Then cross over left, then go beyond the right. Cross over right, then go beyond the left. Turn. Got a wildin' ass moving while she on her hands. Shorty spread them cheeks or anything, I threw them bands. MBE, we throwing cash, tuck it on her head. Nigga, yeah, we bought that. VIP sectioned off, only letting bad bitches because won't fuck with y'all. Drinking like we college kids and ballin' like the Eagles ball. Get cross-faded, bag of dime, she's a waitress. Man was in the cup, he ain't care, he ain't say shit. Kinda money blind, what you seen, I'm talking spaceships. Every other weekend, different mini vacation. Leave this place shorty till someone more vacant. Tag that ass, be your sugar daddy, won't say shit. Girl moving silent, so I really want the pussy bit. I ain't no desperate shit. No, you smell that Henny scent. Hennessy and backwards, then I saw you, so I talk my shit. All I'm saying, I ain't been in pussy, that's the medicine. Like a leopard in the jungle. Once I fuck it up, I stay humble. Stock me each day, yes, you want more of me. Got you hooked on me. Pray on you like a leopard in the jungle. Once I fuck it up, I stay humble. Stock me each day, yes, you want more of me. Got you hooked on me. Now put your right hand up and go deep. Put your left hand up and go deep. Just a 1-2, just a 1-2, just a 1-2, just a 1-2. Put your left hand up and go deep. Put your right hand up and go deep. Then cross over left, then go beyond the right. Cross over right, then go beyond the left. Turn, put your right hand up and go deep. Put your left hand up and go deep. Just a 1-2 step, 1-2 step, just a 1-2 step, 1-2 step. Put your left hand up and go deep. Put your right hand up and go deep. Then cross over left, then go beyond the right. Cross over right, then go beyond the left. Turn.
Purchase your tracks today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Amir Banks with his song and his video that he submitted for us today. Let's go over to the A&Rs. Let's get their thoughts on this. We'll start things off. He's an A&R director at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, let's start off with you. What do you think of Amir Banks and his song that he submitted?
I've heard this song before for sure on here. I'm not mad at the song. I thought it was I thought it was a solid record. Had a nice vibe to it. You know what I mean? For me, it was more than anything. I think it was a songwriting that didn't necessarily capture me all the way. But I thought overall it's a good job. There's some moments in there that he can he can take out, I would say, and build upon. But overall, I think he did a good job. Video was solid. Yeah.
All right, there you have it from Knowledge. Thank you for that, Knowledge. Let's go over to the next A&R on the lineup. He's a director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, what do you think of Amir Banks and his video that he submitted?
Yeah, I thought it was cool to piggyback off of what Knowledge really said. Like, it has potential. There was parts that had potential, but I feel like overall, like he said, the writing has to be tighter. I feel like, especially if it's a dance, I didn't really get the dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he could have explained it a little bit better, and I think he could have shown it a little bit more in the visual. You know what I mean? Because it's a dance you're trying to get people to do. So, you know, if I watch the whole song and still don't know the dance, you kind of didn't do your job. So I think that's more in the writing as well. You know what I mean? So it has potential. You know what I mean? But a little bit, it still needs a little bit more work.
All right, thank you for that, Polo. And with that, we'll go over to our last A&R on the lineup. He's the vice president of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records. SHAWN Barron, what do you think of Amir Banks and his video that he submitted?
Yeah, I agree with the guys, but with all that said, I feel like it's the most polished thing we heard today for sure. So good job. Just keep it going.
For sure. And real quick, Sean, I wanted to ask you, because the other two A&Rs did touch on this, how important are the lyrics? We heard Polo just mention the lyrics. How important are the lyrics, in your opinion?
Super important. That's a huge part of the song. You know, you got the beat, and then you got the melody, and the lyrics is the other 1/3. So you just got to deliver when it comes to that lyric part. But I feel like the song just had a good, fun, upbeat, feel to it. So I like it. Keep it going.
Awesome. Thank you for that, SHAWN Barron. Amir, you heard it from all three of the A&Rs. Stay tuned to the end of today's event. We're almost there. Find out if you're today's winner for the A&R Challenge. And with that, we reached our last artist on the lineup, Nate Klassen. Let me go ahead and bring you on into the main room with me and the other three of the A&Rs. All right, so we have Nate coming on in here. And Nate, can you hear us? Now, you are muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself so we can hear you real quick. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, Nate? Where are you from?
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Representing Washington. It's a pleasure to have you. And what's your social media so everyone could go ahead and go check out your stuff?
My Instagram is Nate Klassen, KLASSENFR. And yeah, that's the same as my YouTube.
Okay, awesome. And tell us a little bit about your song that you submitted today. It's called That's Right. What is this all about? What are we about to listen to?
So I'm just, I've been making music for about 2 or 3 years now, producing, rapping, all that stuff. And this is, I'm working on a mixtape right now, and this is probably one of the most liked cuts I have off that joint or the mixtape. And it's just, I'm trying to be as authentic as I can in my music, not be anything that I'm not. Authenticity, simplicity, keeping it straight and to the point. And yeah.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead. Let's take a listen. This is Nate with his song, That's Right. Let me load this up, and we'll be right back.
That's right, she just left on sight. Put her best friend here till the end of the night. I don't ever wanna hear another thing, no lies. See them coming up, now they wanna switch sides. Both sides, now they playing both sides. We gon' put it on for the city, gon' die, gon' die, gon' die. For the city, gon' die. Playing both sides, yeah, whoa.
Now tell me what this shit is about. I don't wanna get into it unless you ain't talking about the money. I just wanna see a place where it's sunny, chilling down south in the bay with some money like, oh, let's get into it real quick. My flow so smooth and my rhymes real slick. Hit my line once, press twice like this, cause the girl on the other end wants my shit like, hey, please don't press me, babe, cause your best friend here and I know what you say. Bitch, I stay ballin', I don't play no games. 23 on my chest like my name King James, just kidding. I ain't really got that yet, but I still hit hard like the New York Mets. No chains, no ice in my skin like rice, but I still got next, that's tight, yeah. That's right, she just left on sight, but her best friend here till the end of the night. I don't ever wanna hear another thing, no lies. See them coming up, now they wanna switch sides, both sides, now they playing both sides. We gon' put it on for the city, gon' die for the city, gon' die. Playing both sides, yeah. Whoa, hold up. Let me bring it back. It's a new kind of style, but I still throw it back like Sinatra. But I'm riding with my own pack, chilling at the crib so you know where it's at, yeah. And you don't gotta ask what's up. And when my team pass by, it's miraculous. And yes, it's us, but you don't know the rest of us. Keep it on the low, cause you still need to know how I'm coming. Ballin' in the paint like I'm drumming. Andre 3K, get it like 3 ways. Everybody leaving, but I love how she stay not too long, cause I don't give free space, whoa. And I ain't tryna get right, but I love how I feel when I move so high. Yeah, I'm gonna do something in a little bit of time, but I still got next, that's right, ayy. That's right, she just left on sight, but her best friend here till the end of the night. I don't ever wanna hear another thing, no lies. See them coming up, now they wanna switch sides, both sides, now they playing both sides. We gon' put it on for the city, gon' die for the city, gon' die. Playing both sides, both.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Nate with his song that he submitted for us today. Let's go over to the A&Rs. Let's see what they thought about Nate's song. We'll start things off. He's the vice president of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records. Sean Barron, what do you think of Nate and his song that he submitted?
I feel like he's at the beginning of his career too, and just once again keep recording and find yourself through music.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Sean Barron. And with that, let's go over to the next A&R in the lineup. He's a director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, what do you think of Nate and his song that he submitted?
Yeah, just piggyback on what Sean said. Sound like he's early. He found a flow. He just has to tighten it. I think he just work more on the writing, get more comfortable in that booth. You know what I'm saying? It's early, but sounds like there's potential. So just keep working.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Polo. And with that, let's go over to the last A&R on the lineup. He's an A&R director over at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, what do you think of Nate and his song that he submitted?
I thought the song, I feel like how Sean felt, basically. Like, you could tell it's still early on. Still has to develop his artist, develop his sound, develop his voice. I felt like, in this particular record, there were parts where the lyrics were a little too simple, you know what I mean? But then he had parts in here where he kind of felt like he kind of caught a rhythm, and he was, he had a little bounce to it. So it just feels like, it's just more of a case of staying in the studio and just, challenge yourself and maturing as an artist in the studio.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Knowledge. Well, you heard it from all three of the A&Rs, Nate. Stay tuned. We're about to announce the winner for today's A&R Challenge. But before we do, let's give a big shout out to all three of the A&Rs for joining us. I'll go down the list, starting off with the first one, VP of A&R at MOTOWN Capitol Records, Sean Barron. Where can everyone find you on social media?
I'm at Sean Barron on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me there.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Sean, it's always a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you again for joining us for the A&R Challenge today. And up next, he's the director of A&R at Rock Nation. Polo, where can everyone find you on social media?
Follow me on Instagram under POLO_2X.
Awesome, Polo. It was great to have you as well. Thank you so much for joining us again for the A&R Challenge today. And last but certainly not least, he's an A&R director at Atlantic Records. Knowledge, where can everyone find you on social media?
Only social media I have is Instagram. You can find me there, God_knowledge.
Awesome, Knowledge. And thank you as well for joining us for our online event today. Be sure to follow all the A&Rs. They're all great, and it's excellent to have them all on our event today. So it's about that time, guys, to announce the winner for today's A&R Challenge. Big congrats to Draystone. Draystone, we did have you in the chat room before, but I know you're watching it live. Draystone, big congrats to you for being the winner of the A&R Challenge today. Be sure to check your email after this event. You're going to get both your written feedback and your prize email. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in across all of our social media accounts. My name's Adonis Lugo. Be sure to check me out on Instagram as well on behalf of myself, the 3 A&Rs, and the entire Direct to Exec team. We'll see you guys on the next one.